First Contact and Skepticism. The crystalline spires of Zalthora University glittered in the light of three suns as the interstellar transport ship descended through wispy lavender clouds. Inside, Lena Mitchell gripped the edges of her seat, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and terror. At 18 years old, she was about to become the first human to attend the most prestigious academic institution in the known galaxy. As the ship touched down on a shimmering landing pad, Lena took a deep breath and straightened her uniform. She had trained for months, learning alien languages and customs, but nothing could fully prepare her for this moment. The airlock hissed open, and she stepped out into a world beyond her wildest dreams. Alien beings of all shapes and sizes bustled about the spaceport. Some floated on anti-gravity disks, others scuttled on multiple legs, and a few seemed to phase in and out of reality itself. Lena's eyes widened as she tried to take it all in, her translator implant working overtime to process the cacophony of alien languages. A tall, willowy being with iridescent skin approached her. "Greetings, Terran exchange student," it said in a melodious voice. "I am Professor Xylith, head of Xenobiology. Welcome to Zalthora University." Lena bowed slightly, as she had been taught. "Thank you, Professor. I'm honored to be here." Xylith's expression was unreadable, but there was a hint of skepticism in its voice. "Indeed, your presence here is unprecedented. Follow me, please." As they walked through the sprawling campus, Lena marveled at the advanced technology surrounding them. Holographic displays flickered with equations beyond her comprehension, while students manipulated energy fields with mere gestures. She felt a pang of insecurity. How could she possibly keep up with beings so far beyond human capabilities? Their tour ended at the administrative center, where a panel of alien academics awaited them. The tension in the room was palpable as Lena stood before them, feeling like a specimen under a microscope. An elderly Zalthoran with glowing tendrils for hair spoke first. "Terran Mitchell, your acceptance to this institution was controversial. Many here question the wisdom of admitting a species so new to interstellar society. What do you say to those who believe you do not belong here?" Lena swallowed hard, choosing her words carefully. "I understand your concerns. Humans may be newcomers to the galactic stage, but we have a long history of innovation and adaptability. I'm here to learn, but also to share a unique perspective that might benefit us all." A ripple of murmurs passed through the assembled aliens. Some seemed intrigued, others dismissive. A bulbous creature with multiple eye stalks leaned forward. "Pretty words, but can you back them up? Our curriculum is designed for minds far more advanced than your primitive human brain." Lena felt a flicker of anger at the insult, but she kept her composure. "With all due respect, you might be surprised at what a human mind can accomplish. I look forward to the challenge." The panel deliberated in hushed tones before the Zalthoran elder spoke again. "Very well. You will be given a chance to prove yourself, Terran Mitchell. But be warned, we will not lower our standards. Fail to keep up, and you will be sent home in disgrace." With that ominous pronouncement, Lena was dismissed. Professor Xylith led her to her quarters, a small, sterile room that felt more like a laboratory than living space. "Your classes begin tomorrow," the professor said. "I suggest you spend the evening reviewing the material. You have much catching up to do." As the door slid shut behind Xylith, Lena sank onto her bed, the enormity of the task ahead finally hitting her. She was alone on an alien world, surrounded by beings who doubted her very right to be there. For a moment, she considered contacting Earth and asking to be brought home. But then she remembered why she had come. Humanity needed this, needed her to succeed. With renewed determination, she activated her datapad and began studying, losing herself in the wonders of alien science and mathematics. The next morning, Lena entered her first class, Advanced Quantum Mechanics. The lecture hall was filled with students of various species, all of whom turned to stare as she walked in. She held her head high, ignoring the whispers and pointing tentacles as she took a seat. The professor, a being of pure energy contained within a shimmering force field, began the lecture without preamble. Linna's translator struggled to keep up with the complex terminology, and the equations floating in the air seemed to shift and change faster than she could process them. Halfway through the class, the professor posed a question to the students. Dozens of alien appendages shot into the air, eager to answer. Lena hesitated, then slowly raised her hand as well. The professor's energy field pulsed in what might have been surprise. Yes, Terran. Do you have an answer? Lena stood, her voice shaky but determined. I believe I do, Professor. If we consider the quantum entanglement principles you just discussed and apply them to the multidimensional model from last week's reading. She launched into her explanation, drawing on everything she had studied the night before. As she spoke, she noticed the alien students watching her with growing interest. Even the professor's energy field seemed to intensify. When she finished, there was a moment of silence. Then the professor spoke. An interesting perspective, Terran. Unorthodox, but not entirely without merit. Perhaps there is more to your species than we initially believed. It wasn't exactly high praise, but Lena felt a surge of pride. It was a start, a small crack in the wall of skepticism surrounding her. As she left the class, she overheard two alien students discussing her answer. Did you hear that? One chittered to the other. The human actually had a coherent thought. Don't get too excited, its companion replied. It's probably just repeating something it memorized. No way it actually understands the material. Lena gritted her teeth and walked on. She had known it wouldn't be easy, but the reality of the challenge ahead was daunting. Yet as she navigated the alien corridors to her next class, a small smile played on her lips. They might underestimate her now, but she was just getting started. Humanity had fought its way to the stars against all odds, and she wasn't about to let them down now. As the trio of suns began to set, casting the campus in an otherworldly glow, Lena returned to her quarters. Her head throbbed from the intense concentration required to keep up with the alien curriculum, but there was a fire in her eyes. She may have been a stranger in a strange land, but she was determined to prove that humanity belonged among the stars, one impossible class at a time. Unexpected talents emerge. As weeks passed, Lena settled into a grueling routine. She spent every waking moment either in class or studying, pushing herself to the limits of human endurance. The alien curriculum was mind-bending, often quite literally. Some courses required students to perceive dimensions beyond the typical four of space-time. Despite her best efforts, Lena struggled to keep up with her alien classmates in many subjects. The sheer processing power of their evolved brains gave them a significant advantage in fields like advanced mathematics and quantum computing. But as time went on, she began to notice something unexpected, areas where her human perspective offered unique insights. It started in her xenocultural studies class. The professor, a gelatinous being named Dr. Glob, was discussing the challenges of interspecies diplomacy. The arachnids of Sigma 9 and the gaseous collective of Nebula X-12 have been locked in a trade dispute for centuries. Dr. Glob burbled. Despite numerous attempts at mediation, no solution has been found. The problem seems intractable. Lena raised her hand, an idea forming. Dr. Glob, have we considered the problem from a different angle? Instead of focusing on their differences, what if we looked for common ground? The class fell silent, all eyes, or sensory organs, turning to her. Explain, Terran Mitchell, Dr. Glob said, his gelatinous form rippling with curiosity. Lena stood, her confidence growing. Well, both species evolved in harsh environments where resource management was crucial. What if we framed the trade negotiations not as a competition, but as a collaborative effort to maximize efficiency? We could create a model that shows how their unique strengths could complement each other. Dr. Glob's form pulsed with excitement. Fascinating. A lateral approach that no one has considered. Terran Mitchell, I want you to develop this idea further and present it to the class next week. As Lena left the classroom, she overheard whispers from her classmates. "Did you see that? The human actually had an original thought. Maybe they're not as primitive as we thought." Encouraged by this small victory, Lena began to look for other opportunities to apply her uniquely human perspective. In her astroengineering class, she proposed a biomimetic approach to spacecraft design, inspired by the structures of Earth's deep-sea creatures. The professor was so intrigued that he assigned a group project to explore the concept further. To Lena's surprise, several alien students approached her about joining the project team. Among them was Xelor, a brilliant quantumite whose shimmering probability-based form had initially terrified her. "Your ideas are unconventional." Terran Mitchell, Xelor said, its voice a harmonious blend of frequencies, but they offer new avenues of exploration. "I believe a collaboration could yield interesting results." As they worked together, Lena found herself forming genuine friendships with her alien teammates. They were fascinated by her descriptions of Earth and human culture, peppering her with questions about everything from music to sports to food. One evening, as they took a break from their project, Lena introduced them to the human concept of brainstorming. The aliens were initially confused by the unstructured, free-flowing exchange of ideas, but soon embraced it with enthusiasm. "This is remarkable," exclaimed Vreen, a multi-limbed synapse being. "By temporarily suspending critical judgment, we're generating possibilities we would never have considered through our normal logical processes." Lena grinned. "Sometimes the best solutions come from the wildest ideas. Humans have a saying, 'Think outside the box.'" Xelor's form flickered in amusement. "But Terran Mitchell, there is no box in this room." "It's a metaphor, Xelor," Lena laughed. "It means to think beyond conventional boundaries." As word spread about the success of Lena's project team, more alien students began seeking her out. They were drawn to her creativity, her ability to make intuitive leaps, and her knack for finding connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. However, not everyone was pleased with Lena's growing influence. A group of traditionalist students, led by a haughty cerebran named Axon Prime, viewed her presence as a threat to the established order. "This is absurd," Axon Prime declared during a student council meeting. "We're letting a primitive ape descendant influence our most advanced scientific discourse. It's an insult to our superior intellects." Lena, who had been invited to the meeting to discuss her project, felt her cheeks burn with anger. But before she could respond, Xelor spoke up. "Your argument is flawed, Axon Prime," the quantumite said. "True intellect is not about mere processing power, but the ability to generate novel solutions. Terran Mitchell has demonstrated this ability repeatedly." The debate raged on, with opinions divided. Lena realized that she had become a catalyst for change at Zalfora University, challenging long-held assumptions about intelligence and creativity. As the meeting concluded, Professor Tylith approached Lena. "You've certainly made quite an impact, Terran Mitchell," the xenobiologist said. "But now you face your greatest challenge yet." Lena looked up, puzzled. "What do you mean, Professor?" Tylith's iridescent skin shimmered with concern. "The Galactic Academic Council has announced this year's cosmic conundrum, a problem so complex that it has stumped the greatest minds in the universe for millennia. Each participating university must submit a team to attempt a solution." Lena's eyes widened. "And you want me on Zalfora's team?" "Not just on the team," Tylith said. "We want you to lead it." The professor's words hit Lena like a gravity wave. Lead a team of the most brilliant alien minds in the universe. It seemed impossible. But as she looked around at the allies she had made, Xelor, Vreen, and others who now looked to her with respect and expectation, she felt a surge of determination. "I'll do it," Lena said, her voice firm. "But I'll need to handpick my team. And we'll do this my way, the human way." Tylith nodded, a hint of a smile playing across its alien features. "Very well. The fate of Zalfora's academic reputation rests in your hands. Taryn Mitchell, don't let us down. As Lena left the meeting, her mind raced with possibilities. She had come to this alien world to learn, but now she had the chance to teach, to show the galaxy what humanity could offer. The cosmic conundrum awaited, and with it, the opportunity to change the course of galactic academia forever. Little did Lena know that the challenge ahead would test not just her intellect, but the very fabric of interspecies cooperation. The universe was about to learn that sometimes the most unlikely species could provide the key to unlocking its greatest mysteries. Collaboration and discovery. The news of Lena's appointment as team leader for the Cosmic Conundrum spread through Zalfora University like wildfire. Reactions ranged from excitement to outrage, with heated debates erupting in every corner of the campus. Lena, however, had no time for the controversy. She was focused entirely on assembling her team and preparing for the challenge ahead. In her quarters, now cluttered with holographic displays and data crystals, Lena pored over the details of the Cosmic Conundrum. The problem was mind-boggling in its complexity. To create a unified theory that could explain the behavior of dark matter, dark energy, and the apparent inconsistencies in the laws of physics across different regions of the universe. This is impossible, Lena muttered, rubbing her temples. How can they expect anyone to solve this? Perhaps that is the point, came a familiar harmonic voice. Lena looked up to see Zexalor shimmer into existence beside her. Zexalor, how did you get in here? The Quantumite's form rippled in what Lena had come to recognize as amusement. I am everywhere and nowhere, remember. But that's not important. What matters is your approach to this challenge. Lena sighed. I'm starting to think the traditionalists were right. How can a human possibly lead a team to solve a problem that has stumped the greatest alien minds for millennia? Zexalor's form pulsed with intensity. Because you think differently, Lena Mitchell. You see connections where we see only disparate parts. That is why I believe you can succeed where others have failed. Encouraged by her friend's words, Lena threw herself into the team selection process. She chose not based on academic scores or species reputation, but on creativity, adaptability, and willingness to embrace new ideas. Her final team was a diverse group that raised eyebrows across the university. Zexalor, the Quantumite, for their unique perspective on probability and quantum mechanics. Vreen, the synapse being, whose multi-threaded mind could process vast amounts of data simultaneously. Hilara, a young lumina whose species could perceive and manipulate light in ways no other beings could. Crix, an void dweller with an intuitive understanding of dark matter and energy. And finally, much to everyone's surprise, Axon Prime, the Cerebran who had been so vocal in his opposition to Lena's involvement. Why him? Vreen asked when Lena announced her choice. He despises you and everything you stand for. Lena nodded. Exactly. We need someone to challenge our ideas, to push us to defend our theories. And like it or not, he's brilliant. We need that brilliance on our side. As the team gathered for their first meeting, the tension was palpable. Axon Prime glared at Lena with his multiple eye stalks. I am here under protest, he announced. I still believe this is a mistake. Lena met his gaze steadily. Noted, but while you're here, I expect your full commitment to the project. We're going to approach this problem in a way it's never been approached before. She outlined her plan. Instead of attacking the problem head-on, they would break it down into smaller interconnected challenges. Each team member would focus on their area of expertise, but they would constantly share ideas and look for unexpected connections. We're going to use a human technique called design thinking, Lena explained. We'll empathize with the problem, define it clearly, ideate without judgment, prototype rapidly, and test continuously. The aliens looked skeptical, but as they began to work, something remarkable happened. The free flow of ideas, unconstrained by traditional academic hierarchies, led to breakthroughs none of them had anticipated. Ilara's understanding of light led to new insights into the behavior of dark energy. Crick's intuitive grasp of void phenomena helped refine their models of dark matter distribution. Even Axon Prime, despite his initial reluctance, found himself caught up in the excitement of discovery. Weeks turned into months, and the team worked tirelessly. They faced setbacks and moments of despair, but each time, Lena rallied them with her unwavering determination and creative problem-solving. One night, as they were reviewing their latest simulations, Zexular suddenly pulsed with excitement. "Look," the Quantumite exclaimed. "Do you see it?" The team gathered around the holographic display. In the swirling model of the universe they had created, a pattern was emerging, a subtle interplay between dark matter, dark energy, and normal matter that no one had noticed before. "It's like a cosmic dance," Lena breathed, each component influencing the others in a delicate balance. Axon Prime's eye stalks quivered with excitement. This changes everything. If we can prove this model is correct, it would revolutionize our understanding of the universe. The team worked feverishly to refine their theory, running simulation after simulation. As the deadline for submitting their findings to the Galactic Academic Council approached, they faced their greatest challenge yet, proving their theory with observable data. "We need to find a way to test this in the real universe," Lena said, pacing the room. "But how? We can't exactly travel to every corner of the cosmos to take measurements." It was Ilara who provided the breakthrough. "What if we don't need to?" the young Luminous said, her bioluminescent skin pulsing with excitement. "What if we could use the light from distant galaxies to test our theory?" The team latched onto the idea, working to develop a method of analyzing cosmic light that could provide evidence for their model. As they refined their approach, even Axon Prime had to admit that Lena's leadership had been crucial. "I was wrong about you, Terran Mitchell," he said grudgingly. "Your methods may be unorthodox, but they are effective." Lena smiled. "High praise indeed, Axon. Thank you." As the deadline loomed, the team put the finishing touches on their presentation. They had done it. A comprehensive theory that explained the behavior of dark matter and dark energy, supported by a novel method of observation. The night before they were to present to the Galactic Academic Council, Lena gathered her team. "Whatever happens tomorrow," she said, "I want you all to know how proud I am of what we've accomplished. We've proven that cooperation between species, combining our unique strengths and perspectives, can lead to incredible breakthroughs." Zexular's form shimmered with emotion. "We have done more than solve a cosmic puzzle, Lena Mitchell. We have forged a new way of approaching the mysteries of the universe." As the team shared a moment of quiet triumph, none of them could have predicted the shock waves their discovery was about to send through the galaxy, or the dangers it would unleash. The cosmic conundrum had been just the beginning. The real test of their newfound unity was yet to come. Crisis and confrontation. The day of the presentation dawned, and Zalfora University buzzed with anticipation. The Galactic Academic Council had arrived, their massive ship hovering above the campus like a metallic cloud. Lena and her team made their way to the grand auditorium, their nerves electric with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. As they entered, Lena's breath caught in her throat. The auditorium was packed with beings from across the galaxy, their diverse forms creating a living tapestry of cosmic diversity. At the center, on a raised platform, sat the council, 7 of the most renowned intellects in the known universe. Professor Tylith approached them, his iridescent skin shimmering with nervous energy. "Remember," he whispered, "you're not just representing Zalfora. You're representing the very idea of interspecies collaboration. Good luck." Lena nodded, squeezing the data crystal containing their presentation. As they took their places on the stage, she felt the weight of countless eyes upon her. She took a deep breath and began. "Esteemed members of the council, fellow seekers of knowledge," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "We stand before you today, not just as representatives of Zalfora University, but as a testament to the power of diversity in scientific inquiry." For the next hour, Lena and her team laid out their theory. They explained how they had approached the cosmic conundrum from multiple angles, combining the unique perspectives of their varied species. As they spoke, holographic models sprang to life around them, illustrating the complex dance of dark matter, dark energy, and normal matter they had discovered. The audience was rapt, murmurs of excitement rippling through the crowd. Even the usually stoic council members leaned forward, their attention fully captured. As they concluded their presentation, there was a moment of profound silence. Then, slowly, applause began to build, growing into a thunderous ovation that shook the auditorium. The head of the council, a being of pure energy named Zephyrus, raised a tendril for silence. "In all my eons," it said, its voice resonating through the air, "I have never seen such an innovative approach to this age-old problem. Your theory is not just groundbreaking. It has the potential to reshape our understanding of the cosmos itself." Lena's team exchanged looks of jubilation. They had done it. Their hard work, their willingness to challenge conventions, had paid off beyond their wildest dreams. But even as they basked in their triumph, a commotion erupted at the back of the auditorium. A group of beings pushed their way through the crowd, their faces contorted with anger. "Stop!" one of them shouted, a cerebran elder whose brain case pulsed with fury. "You can't accept this abomination." Lena recognized him as Synapse Maximus, the leader of the traditionalist faction at Zalthora. Behind him stood a group of like-minded academics from various species, all glaring at Lena and her team with undisguised hostility. "This theory is an insult to true scientific rigor," Synapse Maximus continued, his voice dripping with disdain. "It relies on intuition and guesswork, not pure logic, and it was led by a human, a species barely out of its planetary infancy." The council members exchanged troubled looks. Zephyrus spoke again, its energy form flickering with concern. "These are serious accusations. Do you have evidence to support your claims?" Before Synapse Maximus could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the auditorium. Holographic screens flickered to life, showing images of chaos erupting across the campus. Professor Tyleth rushed to the stage, his normally composed demeanor shattered. "It's a disaster," he cried. "The dimensional stabilizers are failing. The entire university is phasing in and out of reality." Panic spread through the crowd. The Galactic Academic Council huddled together, clearly at a loss. Lena looked at her team, saw the determination in their eyes, and knew what they had to do. "We can fix this," she said, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Our theory, it's not just about dark matter and energy. It's about the fundamental structure of reality itself, if we can apply it to the stabilizers." Zephyrus turned to her, hope glimmering in its energy form. "You believe you can save the university?" Lena nodded. "Yes, but we'll need access to the central control systems, and we'll need to work fast." The council conferred briefly. Then Zephyrus spoke. "Go, do what you must. The fate of Zalthora is in your hands." As Lena and her team raced out of the auditorium, Synapse Maximus and his followers moved to block their path. "We cannot allow this," he shouted. "These charlatans will only make things worse." But to everyone's surprise, it was Axon Prime who stepped forward, his eye stalks quivering with anger. "Get out of the way," he said to his former allies. "I've seen firsthand what this team can do. If anyone can save us, it's them." Reluctantly, the traditionalists stepped aside. Lena led her team through the shifting, unstable corridors of the university, their surroundings flickering in and out of existence around them. They reached the central control room to find it in chaos, with technicians frantically trying to stabilize the systems. "Clear the room," Lena ordered, her voice ringing with authority. As the technicians filed out, she turned to her team. "All right, let's do this. Zixalor, we need your quantum calculations. Vreen, start processing the data streams. Ilara, use your light manipulation to stabilize the energy flows. Crix, tap into the void energies to anchor us. Axon Prime, I need your processing power to run the simulations." They worked with frantic intensity, applying their groundbreaking theory to the practical problem of saving the university. The room shook around them, reality itself seeming to warp and bend. "It's not enough," Vreen cried out in despair. "The instability is too great." Lena's mind raced. Then, in a flash of inspiration, she saw the solution. "We need to think bigger," she said. "We're not just saving the university, we're rewriting the local laws of physics. Zexalor, expand your calculations to encompass the entire star system." As they implemented Lena's audacious plan, the shaking began to subside. Slowly, steadily, reality reasserted itself. The flickering stopped, and a sense of stability returned. In the sudden quiet, Lena and her team looked at each other in amazement. They had done it. They had not only solved the cosmic conundrum, but had applied their theory to save Zalfora University from dimensional collapse. As they emerged from the control room, they were met with a sight they never expected. The entire university population, along with the Galactic Academic Council, was waiting for them. As one, the crowd erupted in cheers. Zephyrus floated forward, its energy form glowing with admiration. "You have not only advanced our understanding of the universe," it said, "but you have shown us the true power of cooperation between species. This day will be remembered in galactic history." As Lena stood there, surrounded by her team and the adulation of the crowd, she realized that they had done more than solve a scientific problem. They had opened the door to a new era of interstellar collaboration, one where the unique strengths of each species could combine to achieve the impossible. The crisis was over, but the true transformation was just beginning. And at the heart of it all stood a human girl who had dared to challenge the cosmos itself. Transformation and new horizons. In the weeks following the dimensional crisis, Zalfora University underwent a profound transformation. The success of Lena's team had shattered long-held beliefs about the superiority of single-species research, ushering in a new era of collaborative science. Lena found herself at the center of this revolution, sought after by students and faculty alike for her insights on cross-species teamwork and creative problem-solving. The Galactic Academic Council, impressed by the practical applications of her team's theory, had commissioned a new department at Zalfora, the Institute for Interdisciplinary Cosmic Studies. On the day of the Institute's inauguration, Lena stood before a diverse crowd of beings from across the galaxy. The audience included not just academics, but diplomats, business leaders, and curious citizens, all eager to hear from the human who had changed the face of galactic academia. "When I first arrived at Zalfora," Lena began, her voice carrying across the newly constructed amphitheater, "I was seen as an oddity at best, a nuisance at worst. But what I found here was a universe of possibility, waiting to be unlocked by the power of diverse perspectives." She gestured to her team, seated in the front row. "Our success in solving the cosmic conundrum and saving the university wasn't due to any one individual's brilliance. It was the result of combining our unique strengths, of challenging each other's assumptions, and of daring to think beyond the boundaries of our respective species." As Lena spoke, holographic displays shimmered to life around her, showcasing the groundbreaking projects already underway at the new institute. There were simulations of new propulsion systems inspired by the team's dark energy theories, medical breakthroughs applying quantum principles to healing, and environmental restoration projects based on their understanding of matter-energy interactions. "But this is just the beginning," Lena continued, her eyes shining with excitement. "The challenges we face as a galactic community, climate change on countless worlds, the threat of cosmic phenomena, the need for sustainable expansion. These are problems too big for any one species to solve alone. But together, combining the unique insights of every sentient being, there's no limit to what we can achieve." The crowd erupted in applause, a cacophony of sounds from hundreds of different species. Even Synapse Maximus and his once staunch traditionalists seemed moved, their earlier hostility replaced by grudging respect. As the ceremony concluded, Lena found herself approached by an unexpected visitor, a representative from Earth's fledgling Galactic Relations Department. "Ms. Mitchell," the diplomat said, barely containing her excitement, "your work here has opened doors we never thought possible. The Galactic Council is considering fast-tracking Earth's application for full membership in the interstellar community. They want you to lead the negotiations." Lena's head spun at the implications. Full membership would mean access to advanced technologies, participation in galactic governance, and opportunities for humanity beyond their wildest dreams. But it would also bring responsibilities and challenges they might not be prepared for. Before she could respond, she felt a familiar shimmering presence beside her. Lore materialized, joined by the rest of her team. "Whatever you decide," the Quantumite said, "know that you have allies across the stars now. Your journey here has changed not just Zalfora, but the very fabric of galactic society." Vreen nodded enthusiastically, its multiple limbs gesticulating. "We've been discussing it, Lena. What if we took the principles we've developed here and applied them on a galactic scale? A roving team of problem solvers, tackling the biggest challenges facing different worlds." Lena's mind raced with the possibilities. She thought of the wonders they could discover, the lives they could improve, the boundaries they could push. But she also thought of Earth, of the family and friends she'd left behind, and the role she could play in guiding humanity's first steps into the wider galactic community. As if reading her thoughts, Ilara spoke up, her bioluminescent skin pulsing gently. "Why choose? You've taught us the value of maintaining connections across vast distances. Be the bridge between Earth and the stars. Show your people the wonders that await them, and show the galaxy the unique perspectives humans can offer." Lena looked at her team, her friends, and felt a surge of gratitude and affection. They had been through so much together, had changed each other in profound ways. Whatever came next, she knew they'd face it together. "All right," she said, a smile spreading across her face. "Let's do it. Let's show the galaxy what's possible when we reach across the stars and dare to understand each other." As they stood there, this unlikely group of friends from across the cosmos, Lena felt a sense of limitless potential. They had solved the cosmic conundrum, saved a university from dimensional collapse, and begun to reshape galactic society. But she knew that their greatest adventures and challenges still lay ahead. The suns of Zalfora were setting, painting the sky in impossible colors. But for Lena and her team, it felt like a new dawn, not just for them, or for humanity, but for the entire interconnected tapestry of galactic civilization. As night fell on one chapter of their journey, the stars beckoned, promising new horizons, new discoveries, and a future limited only by the bounds of their collective imagination. In that moment, standing with friends from across the cosmos, Lena understood a profound truth. The greatest frontier wasn't out there in the vastness of space, but in the connections between all sentient beings, and they were just beginning to explore its wonders.